Okay, so today I want to do a follow-up to a recent video regarding Fallout 76 I posted on the channel calling it, quote, complete garbage, end quote. Some people agreed, some people disagreed. The comment section was a disaster, as expected, but what came of that for me was a strong realization that a lot of viewers were internalizing that criticism instead of taking it for what it really was.
Oh, come on.
No. She's hot, okay? Because if you were saying that Hillary Swank isn't hot, then you're saying I'm not hot, because obviously I'm not as hot as Hillary Swank.
Obviously replace Hillary Swank with Fallout 76, but this type of attitude perfectly fits with some of the reactions that I saw cropping up. Now, I'm not backtracking on the opinions voiced in that video, not by a long shot, but nowhere did I ever say that the game is both garbage and will remain garbage forever. I am also not saying in any way, shape, or form that if you like Fallout 76 somehow, or if you enjoy the co-op experience with your friends, or hell, even if you just slurp down everything Bethesda produces because it's your all-time favorite company, I don't understand that, probably never will, but that does not mean that criticism of Fallout 76 by me extends outward from the game to those playing it. Gamers can play whatever they want, and rightly so. What's fun for some isn't fun for others, and Fallout 76, with its co-op, its post-apocalyptic theme, and other design choices, obviously has appeal to some. But when I call it garbage, I am using a baseline of what the Fallout franchise has shown us in the past, what Bethesda themselves as a company have produced for previous releases, and what the current industry landscape looks like since the game is launching into a space that has a great deal of competitors and overall choice for consumers. To reiterate, saying it's in a bad place, even calling it flat out garbage right now, does not mean it will stay that way forever. I like to think Bethesda took a risk producing this game. It wasn't really something a lot of people were asking for, or wanted, or cared about, but they did it anyway, and as a concept, it's pretty appealing. In practice, though, it's really broken. It has giant holes, and it's been a really rocky beta and launch, to say the very least. A great comparison for the game's future is Elder Scrolls Online. ESO obviously can't be taken as a template for what will guaranteed happen with Fallout 76, but it's still a good comparison because both are games that moved into cooperative multiplayer and away from single-player story experiences, which were the main draw for many years. ESO has had its fair share of struggles, problems, and other speed bumps, but despite those issues, it has in fact steadily climbed in popularity over a long development cycle. Fallout 76, in a pretty left-field move, will not be offered on Steam. That's a shitty design decision, one of many Bethesda continues to make, and thus there is no easy method by which to track its player base numbers, at least not even remotely equivalent to Steam charts anyways. But it's a pretty solid bet that the player base will likely tank soon if it has not begun to do so already. The world is empty, the systems are tedious, the graphics are terrible. When compared to other current releases anyways, the game is just buggy beyond belief, and while some or even most of these can be aggressively justified away by fans, all of them together are really a lot to handle. It's too much. A metaphor I keep coming back to is the image of Bethesda standing in a grave with a shovel and they're digging. They are going deeper and deeper, and eventually they won't be able to get out. But right now, they can, and it wouldn't even be all that hard, to be honest. They could easily switch from digging that grave to filling it back in with the very same shovel from the dirt that's on the side, and the framework is there for them to do just that. They could improve the perk card system, which I previously thought was actually quite good till discovering a few major flaws, and I'll make a whole video on that system and the changes I would propose to fix it at a later date. They could open up the game for private servers sooner rather than later and not wait on that. They could release the floodgates and let the modding community go wild. That's a big one, and I don't mean nickel and dime, while trying to gouge $5 out of their player base for a single gun on their crappy corporate storefront. I mean actually let the modders fix the problems. That would be huge. It would speed up the bug fixing process, it would quickly improve the graphical assets, and overall, in terms of player-friendly decisions, it would be pretty much nuclear in a good way. On top of that, they have mentioned specifically that additional vaults will open over time, and to me that signals undoubtedly that they will add in NPCs or settlements, and more overall world population. Why do I think this? Because we the players are already there, we're already present. The original goal was to have players be the first ones out of the vault. They could tell that story and have them populate the world and drive all interactions. So opening further vaults, unless they just mean opening up empty or dead vaults that serve as dungeons, which I wouldn't even put past them at this point, honestly. But It's much more likely further vault openings for events or patches will bring new NPCs and new characters with quests and more. Combine that with batches of perk cards for events, new weapons, new armor, new everything for free, and you have a game that can undoubtedly improve. None of this changes what the game is now, though. Speaking about potential, about how the game has the bare bones framework for something that might be good after a lot more time and content, is cool for the aggressively optimistic, but for gamers that are sick of spending $60 on unfinished games, Fallout 76 is, as I said before, complete garbage. If you found this game in the old bargain bin at GameStop, I don't know how many will remember, but back a number of years ago before the digital downloads and before news availability, gamers would oftentimes just go to this big bin of PlayStation games or basic Xbox games at their local game store and find one that looked cool and was on sale. If you found this game in there for 20 bucks or something, maybe even $30, there would be zero complaints. In fact, it would likely be praised for that. But flipping assets without substantial or frankly even noticeable improvement from previous titles that launched years ago, excluding Steam, which is probably the most widespread PC gaming portal in existence, and absolutely the one that many gamers are most comfortable with, is just not a trajectory worthy of praise. A lot of comments on my channel surrounding this game also seem to have taken my previous commentary as a full review, which it isn't. Likewise, neither is this. I clearly label reviews with the word review in the title, and I don't make them, by and large, without having played the game extensively and experienced all or at least nearly all of what it offers. I will make a full review for Fallout 76 in the semi-near future, and that review will forego a lot of the emotion that I display in commentary videos like this one, and it will focus more on what the game precisely is, how it plays, its individual systems, and though this holy grail of unbiased reviewing or reporting is pretty much a fallacy on YouTube, my official review will make far more of an effort to put holistic information and coverage first, before also lacing in a chunk of my own opinion. Fallout 76 falls short of what it could be and should be by a lot right now, and to go back to my first point, me saying a game you like is objectively pretty dysfunctional and broken is not me saying that you are dysfunctional and broken, it's simply a statement of, in this case, aggregate player sentiment, personal opinion, and analysis of a game after spending years covering video games as my full-time job. A lot of these problems could have been avoided. Bethesda has made a series of choices that landed us here definitively, with Fallout 76 now being a polarizing topic. In a sense, the feedback that it's just trendy to hate on Fallout 76 is pretty true. It honestly is. But for those that claim the game is actually great and all the negative feedback is from haters, if you will, that's an irresponsible mentality to have. A nice mirror can be held up to Destiny 2. Which came under fire massively early after launch and release for being, and there's no way around saying this straight up, complete trash. Some of the core systems that made Destiny good had been changed, and Bungie refused to listen to their community while blatantly flipping assets in, honestly, a really disrespectful way. If you don't believe me, just look up what Curse of Osiris mostly was. It's actually just a chunk of unused stuff from Destiny 1. It was trendy to hate on Destiny 2. I did it myself even, but that was not with some hollow or empty goal of just gaining viewership. Destiny has a dedicated community, it has dedicated fans, and the vast majority wanted them to wake up and do things better so they could go back to enjoying the game that they had devoted so much time and effort to. Well, flash forward about a year and it worked after Bungie finally reversed some of their stupid-ass decisions and brought in new content that was legitimately new content. The game stands in a far superior position. People love the new material, and akin to Destiny 1 and the Taken King expansion, Destiny 2's The Forsaken has brought it into a whole new bracket. The same type of trend could manifest with Fallout 76. Community backlash in any industry, not just gaming, can often be the catalyst to positive change on a consumer level. And to blindly plug your ears and scream, la 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 la, no 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 no, you're just a hater, is ignorant and damaging to the game's future. It's capitalism. Bethesda wants us to buy overpriced, half-made abominations. And in my case, and many others, we have already fed into that. But vocalizing concerns and public discontent at large have much more of an effect than people realize. It affects stock price, future earnings, and much, much more. Yes, I bought the game, so did many others. Yes, we are not preaching about how good it is. Quite the opposite, in fact, we are saying it sucks. Pretty bad. But some gamers that I truly greatly respect, they like Fallout 76, and still more, myself included in this category, are attached emotionally to the Fallout franchise and the concept overall. I want this game to be good, to be functional, to not crash 5 times a session or glitch out with every other mission. I want the systems to not piss me off, like having a stash box with a weight limit, a stash box with a weight limit, in a game that is all about gathering junk and farming for hours on end. I want these things and so much more for Fallout 76 because as a skeleton for co-op gameplay in a post-apocalyptic Fallout world, with custom perk card decks and builds on the fly, it really does have tremendous potential, maybe. The endgame nuking system, hunting radioactive monsters, so much of it can be so cool, but glossing over the obvious, glaring, and seriously god-awful problems doesn't help anyone at all, least of all the game to improve. What do all of you think? Maybe this video will have a slightly less polarized comment section than the last one. Who knows? Probably not. If you want to support the channel, check out the links down below. We have a Facebook group, Discord server, website gaming forums, and some more stuff too. Merchandise as well. And there's a few more links if you want to just explore a little bit. But as always, thank you for watching, and have a nice night.